Hey, what's up guys? This is Lydia here for Build Yourself Inside. And I'm gonna sorry for if you are tuned in before. I cannot focus when my cat is crying in the background and it just drives me crazy. And especially because the message that I want to deliver here today is super important for those of you who are getting ready to either start this journey or maybe you're getting ready to restart this journey. And this really goes for any of you who are basically in this new year, new you mindset. Because what I want people to start thinking in terms of, and especially with the patterns of our behavior, is that what we tend to think about is our habits and what our goals are every single year, right? Like every single year we decide we're going to do something new. Maybe some of us don't set New Year's resolutions or goals for the following year. But what we actually don't realize is that a lot of us actually do this and it's unconscious. And what I've been explaining to people recently is that if you really think about it, if you really think about not just this year or last year or the year before, not just thinking about like the individual years, if you actually take now and over the whole span of your lifetime, is that a lot of people over the span of their whole lives are caught in this pattern of starting and then they're actually, what's actually going on is when you're saying that you're going to start a New Year's resolution is what a lot of people are actually unconsciously telling themselves is that they're going to start and then they're going to stop. Because that's actually what is implied when people say they are going to start a New Year's resolution, is that it automatically implies that you're going to start something, and most likely for most people it's going to be to not finish it. And what I want people to notice is that this pattern happens every single year for a lot of people. Why? Because we use the same language every single year. We describe what we're going to do the same to ourselves every single year. Yeah, I'm going to work out a little more. I'm going to get a gym membership. I'm going to start that business. I'm going to work harder on my relationship. I'm going to do all these things. But the problem is when you're in the mindset of setting goals on the new year, what a lot of people are actually unconsciously doing is setting themselves up for failure as well, because they are automatically, and this is not everybody, but the majority of people are actually caught up in this, like this is literally going on every single year for them, is that they have goals that they start and they don't finish. And what you're actually doing over that time is that you're actually creating an automatic habit, and you're actually pre-programming your mind for failure when you start and then you stop something. So let's say maybe in 2010, you said you were going to start and you were going to stop, and what happens is you quit. And again, New Year's 2011, you started something and then you quit. And then 2012 happened, and then you started something, and then you quit. And the same thing with 2013, 14, 15, 16, and all the way up till now is that you've actually programmed your mind to start and then quit. And your unconscious mind actually already knows this. So I also want to talk about motivation here, because I'll have to say from what I hear a lot, and that what a lot of people tend to blame is their lack of motivation. And whenever I have clients come in with this issue, I can already tell you that is not what the issue is. Because what I like to point out is that can you put motivation in a box? Can you put motivation in your pocket? Right? Can you go pick up motivation, right? Like motivation is just a concept. It doesn't exist. It's like laziness. It's like boredom. It's like procrastination. All of these are just concepts. They're just ideas. So they actually aren't physical things. But when I have clients who are telling me, well, I lost my motivation somewhere, what they're actually doing is, and what they don't realize is that they're actually out searching for motivation, right? They're actually out searching for motivation when motivation is just a concept and it doesn't exist. So you're kind of putting your unconscious mind on this path to find something that doesn't exist, which is why people who rely on motivation don't succeed, at least in the long run, right? you know, kicking your butt for so long after seeing like a photo or a video or someone else doing something will help it will help ignite some drive in you. But if it's not coming from an internal place, where if it's not like a core value of your own, it's not something that's going to be sustainable in the long run. And, you know, take it from someone who's a 2009 resolutioner going on now. I was a January 1st person too in the gym. I started January 1st, 2009. I was on a treadmill, and I'm still going up till now. Still going. I've broken my leg. I've had panic attacks. I had a near-death experience. I've had a massive blow to my back, and I'm still back in the gym. I'm still back doing the thing. And what I commonly get asked is, Lydia, how are you still going? Like, what is it that kept you going? And I can tell you what it's not. I can tell you it's not motivation that kept me going. Because like I said, motivation does not exist. It was not willpower. Willpower, I don't have enough of that anymore to keep me in the gym. Like, willpower alone does not get me to the gym or to stay on my diet anymore. It did for a while, but it ran out. And that's why people who rely on willpower and motivation and even accountability and discipline do not succeed in the long run. Because what happens is that we're relying on things that don't exist. Now, willpower is a finite resource. Willpower is something that is fueled by the amount of sleep that you get and the amount of glucose that's in your bloodstream. So that is a finite resource. But when you're saying that you lost your motivation, you can't find it, right? And you're out searching for it. That's not like a task your mind can solve. That's not going to get you anywhere. Because you'll never find motivation. Motivation is a natural. Motivation is just natural desire for what you truly want, what your core values are. So let's say, for instance, you know, my family is always on me about starting a family. Like, just being Greek, I'm always like, when are you going to have a kid? When are you going to settle down? All this stuff. Well, family and starting a family for me is not one of my highest values, and therefore it doesn't matter how much you beat me with language or words or whatever. It's not something that I'm going to pursue, at least not right now. And it's just like anybody else. If someone else doesn't value having a really nice house, maybe they're settling for something, maybe just like they're renting an apartment. It doesn't matter how much you talk to that person, they're not going to go buy a really nice house because it's not one of their top values. Which is why when people are starting on a mission to start something new, when they are, let's just talk about weight loss here, because that's what our subject is. And what's a really hot topic around this time of year, right, is we're all kind of gearing up for failure. That's what's actually going on right now, is that a lot of us are gearing up for failure because a lot of us have actually pre-programmed this habit of starting and stopping every new year, starting and stopping, starting and stopping, starting and stopping. And although this is not something that I went through, I didn't do the starting and stopping every new year. I kind of just picked a new year and I just went and I kept going. And you know, I'll go into more detail about how I kept going and everything later down the road. But the point of that video is not really that. What I want to get across in this video is that a lot of us are actually unconsciously sabotaging ourselves from getting to our goals. In this case, weight loss. In this case, health and fitness and feeling good in your body and confident in your body. Is that if you don't break this cycle of starting and stopping, right, you have to intervene somehow. It's going to keep on going because your mind is already expecting you to give up. Another, some ways that you can hear this in somebody, or maybe you hear this in yourself, is when somebody says, I'm going to start dieting. I'm going to try this diet. I'm going to go check out diets. I'm going to go read books about diets, right? Like, the word diet in itself actually already implies short-term gains and not short-term and not long-term solutions. When I hear a client say, I'm going to diet, I'm going to cut down things or things like that. When I hear things like that, that automatically tells me that this is only a temporary thing. This is not going to last forever, which is why a lot of people tend to bounce back or they give up. Another example would be, I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to lose weight. I'm going to try to lose weight. And I see this all over Facebook, and I'm seeing a lot of this on my newsfeed, and I don't usually comment or anything. So if you want more information, or if you want more info about what I'm talking about, please feel free to reach out. And if you need help in this area, I'm taking on clients right now. If you're interested in not just losing weight, but actually, sustaining it. Like, what is it that actually is holding you back, right? Are you going out looking for motivation that doesn't exist, right? I don't think I finished this topic, but like I said, motivation itself is just a concept. It's just an idea. You can't go out and get it. It's not under a rock. It's not in your kitchen. It's not sitting in front of you, right? So that is not going to get you to where you need to be. Motivation, when you're feeling motivated to work towards something, that's just natural desire, right? But one way in which we tend to sabotage ourselves in weight loss is that we tend to shoot for something that we actually don't value. So, for instance, I'll tell you about what happened with me is that I was shooting for something that was not of value. I was shooting for a look that was not a value of mine, but took a lot of willpower for me to maintain, and that's why I got tired out. But what happened was, when my desire, right, my actually true core value changed from looking fit and tight and hot, when all that changed to I just want to feel good in my body for myself, right? Now I'm doing it for myself. Now it's sustainable. Now it's coming from really what I truly desire and not what everybody else desires, what everybody's going after, right? A lot of these things that we're told to want are taught to us by our parents in our younger years, right? We're taught that we need to get good grades. We're taught that we need to be nice to the babysitter, nice to everybody. We're taught these things. And in a way, it can be helpful, but in a lot of ways it can sabotage us, right? Like if we're trying to be nice to everybody and kiss up to everybody when we're kids, doing that as an adult, we end up becoming a pushover, right? So what is the solution for this? Because boy, this was a journey for me, and I'm proud to say that I've managed to turn around I've actually got to, I dug into myself, and this is what you all need to do. If you're saying I lost my motivation, I can't find my motivation, and you're looking through magazines, you're looking on YouTube, you're just always looking for some sort of fuel to keep you going, it's because what you're going for is actually not what you truly desire. So let that sink in and marinate for a second. What you're going for, if you're struggling with motivation, and that's what you're telling yourself, that's coming out of your own mouth, and that's what you think the problem is that what you're working towards is actually not one of your top values. And it's truly important to notice this. So what I do with my clients, and you can totally do this on your own, is a strategy called values elicitation. And basically this is like a blueprint to success in your own mind, in your own life. And it can be very subtle difference, right? Like when I changed from having to be in competitive shape to just being fit and happy and healthy on the beach or at my pool or just in my own body for my own self, everything became a lot easier. I no longer have to use willpower, right? The same could be said for anyone who's starting a business. Maybe you're saying, well, I want to start a business because I want to be free. Well, if you're struggling in your business and you're not enjoying the work, it could be a lot of different things, but you may want to revisit actually what you're working towards. Maybe even though you want freedom, maybe you don't necessarily need to have your own business to be free in your own mind, right? We tend to create this rule in our head that we need to have this in order to have this. And a lot of the times there's a lot of different ways that we can get to that one value. Now, for me, not just freedom, freedom is a top value of mine, but I also like to have control over my life, and I like to have flexibility. So naturally, as an entrepreneur, that would make sense for me. Me working for another boss, another person under their rules and regulations just would not fit into my map of my own values, right? Like, I went through my own values and I dug them out. And here's what you can do is write down all your values. Like, go through as many as you can, write down 20 of them and pick your top 3. And this is truly probably the most valuable piece of information that you can possibly have about yourself, because it will tell you in what direction that you need to go in order to get to what you want to, where you want to be, in order to get to what truly that you value in life. And a lot of our highest top values, a lot of the most common values that I find among my clients is, of course, happiness, is creativity, is freedom, respect. And these are all things that are like mine. But again, it can be in different order for everybody. Now, I'll do a video down the road more about strategy and or this strategy, which is values elicitation. But what you can start doing right now is maybe mapping out your own strategies and really digging deep into the fitness aspect. If you're one of these fitness people, and maybe you're going to the gym too much, like I was overdoing it. For me, it was like trying to land an airplane going like full speed. It was just like, and it's really hard coming out of competitions, and you bodybuilders know what I'm talking about. But if this is something, these words have to come out of your mouth, I'm going to try to do this. I don't feel motivated to do that. I lost my motivation. I'm gonna think about it, right? Like, if you are in alignment with your core values, you don't need motivation to get to where you want, right? A simple example would be, I want to pick up this pen, right? I want to pick up this pen, so I did. I did not have to use any willpower. I did not have to summon up. I didn't have to stand in my mirror and do affirmations and incantations to go pick up this pen, right? Or if I want to drink a water, or if I wanted to go into my fridge and get a snack, because I just want it, I go get it. Right? I don't have to summon up willpower. I don't have to use discipline. I don't need accountability to go do a simple task because I just want it. It's within my values. I enjoy the taste of the snack that I'm eating. I like the look of this pen, right? So why is it that you have to summon up all this willpower and discipline, and you have to hire all these coaches for accountability to get to your weight loss goals? Well, that's something you want to think about, and you want to start thinking about that right now. You do not want to waste any more time, because what happens is that you continue this path every single year, and you will literally be where you are now a year from now, and then a year from now, and then a year from now, and then 10 years from now turns into 20 years from now. And you know, like I said, the only reason I've been able to figure this out so quickly is because I pushed myself to my limits very quickly. So I've been able to uncover what I was doing wrong, why I was doing it wrong, and how to fix it. And that's why I put together these videos for you all. And, you know, like I said, values elicitation is super important. This is a neuro-linguistic programming technique that I use, that I work with all my clients. So if you're interested and you want to start uncovering your own values to get yourself on the right track, or you want to make sure you're on the right track, telling you, you need a blueprint for your own life. You really do. Your blueprint is not your friend's blueprint. It's not your mom's or your dad's. It's not your best friend's, right? It's not even like your mentor, right? You need to figure out what's best for you and what feels good to you, so you're not using willpower and sheer force to get healthy, right? To feel good about yourself, to be in a place in your career that feels comfortable to you. You know, for me, it's hard for me to see myself, like, I could not see myself happy working for somebody else. Well, there's totally people out there who can feel free, but also have another boss. So it's just how you interpret freedom. Freedom to me is not having another boss, right? Freedom to me is flexibility. It's being able to get up when I want, travel when I want, having more control over my life. And that's what defines freedom for me. Well, this is going to be different for everybody. So it's so important to dig deep into what your top, let's just say like your top 3 to 5 values. And then also what about them, like chunk down, well, how, like, what will that do? What will what do you need to get there? What is the strategy? What are the tasks, or what are the things that you need in your life in order to experience that respect or that love or that freedom or excitement or whatever is the most important thing in your life? Family, right? Like what steps you need to take to get there, right? So, this really reminds me of the people who also, like, we hear about these people who start this journey like I did, right? Or people who end up in the hospital, right? And their doctors are like, you need to lose weight now, right? Well, what happens is those people who are like, who hear from their doctors that you need to lose weight now, what happens is they nail it, right? They nail it. They go out and they lose like 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 pounds. Why is that? Why is it that us, our average Joes out there in the gym, why we struggle with weight loss, right, is because we're trying to rely on willpower, motivation, discipline, accountability, all of these things that are only short-term solutions. Well, what is the shift that happens in people who go see doctors and who are told you need to lose weight now or you're going to die, or your cholesterol is going to be through the roof, or you're going to have all these serious complications? Well, what happened in that moment when they got those results from their doctor is that their wants, their nice to haves, suddenly became a must. It became a do or die situation. And that's why people who face those situations when they're backed up against the corner just make it happen like that. Because unconsciously, right, not consciously, unconsciously, the mind is like, we gotta go now, because now it's a threat to their survival. And as long as you're trying to work for something that you need to be motivated for, you can count on never getting there. Because like I said, motivation doesn't exist. Unconsciously, your mind knows that no matter how hard you work, you're never going to fulfill your value if that value is not in alignment with who you are. And therefore, because your unconscious mind knows that no matter how hard you work, you're never going to fulfill that value. Why would you be motivated, right? Why would you be motivated to fulfill something that's not valuable to you? And that's when that giving up happens. So anyway, hope this made sense. And if you guys have any questions about this, please go post in the comment below. If you like this video, please share it. Please give it a like or a little hearts. Those are always awesome too. And let me know what else you want to know about accomplishing your goals over the next year, right? I realize this is an important time for a lot of people. People want to have relationships. They want to feel good. They want to feel healthy. They want to finally jump and have that leap of faith in starting their business or making more money. And this, I can tell you right now, this can be such an amazing opportunity for all of you, right? It was an amazing opportunity for me when I first stepped into that Big Vanilla Gym in Arnold, Maryland on January 1st, 2009. What happened? Look where I am now. Moving into motivational speaking. I'm working on building up my own business. I'm getting ready to leave my corporate job. My life is literally going the exact way I want it. Why? Because I took that first step. And then I took another step, and then I took another step. And as that time has gone, I've had to dig deep into what it is I truly wanted. Not what others want for me, not what my parents want for me, not what my brother or my sister think, right? Not what my friends are doing. But I dug deep and I spent time with myself. And this, if nothing else, guys, do this for New Year's. Learn about yourself. Trust me, it will not be a waste of time. And if you want any more ideas on how to do that, please feel free to contact me, send me a private message, and again, share this video with other like-minded and open-minded people. And I hope you all have a great rest of your evening, and I will come to you again next Wednesday, with a little more wisdom. So as always, let me know what you want to see, what you want to hear, and what you want to feel, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.